We are back with another video, and this is the continuation of the Oracle class preview video that I made, and this is going to be going more in depth on what this class is capable of doing. If you guys enjoy this one, do me a favor and let's try to get this one to 100 likes. If you enjoy my content, please tap that subscribe button and hit the notification if you want to stay up to date with all of my uploads. I want to mention that this class is in early stages, so a lot of things on it are in placeholder positions, and what you see here is not the finished product, so anything can change between now and the release of the class. With that being said, however, there are some things I don't want changed, but I'll get to those in a minute. So first of all, you will notice down here that these are exactly the same as the mage one. So again, that is a placeholder. You also recognize some of these icons right here, which are like ranger related stuff. These are icon placeholders. It's possible some of the animations that we see with the class as well are also placeholders as well, and not the actual finished version. I mean, there is a lack of the cross skill, which is another thing that I wanted to mention. I mean, it shows the rune siphon being the cross skill, but clearly that's just a placeholder until the actual cross skill is made. So there's a lot of placeholders in place when it comes to this class because it is still in very early stages. That's one thing I want to mention. Another thing I wanted to mention was that this class is a lot of fun to use, and it does have a nuke, as I had mentioned in my previous video. I saw some people mentioning how this would be devastating in PvP, and I can confirm you are correct. In its current state, this would be a very, very difficult class to perform against, and like to play against, and somebody using it would have a rather large advantage over the other player. Here's an example right here. So one of my Raven Squad members and guild member was using the class against me in a duel to show me how powerful this class can be, and completely bambasted me. So in PvP, yeah, this class is definitely going to be devastating, but this is where I wanted to address this. I do not think PvP should have any say when it comes to the adjustment of the classes we receive in PvE. If you guys remember when we first got the Samurai class, the Samurai class was not supposed to get nerfed. Then, because of the PvP side of stuff, it was nerfed. So this is something that could happen to any of our OP classes. This basically guarantees that we will never get an OP class because of PvP. I love PvP, but honestly, if PvP is going to be messing up my classes that I want to play with and making them suck in PvE because of PvP, get rid of PvP. And I love PvP, but I would so do without if it's going to hurt our classes. Even though I do love the PvP side of things, it should not play a role when it comes to our classes. Our classes should not be affected by PvP. What should happen is they can have a whole different class thing set specifically for PvP. So if you want to adjust the classes based on PvP, do that. But don't touch the classes that we use in PvE because of PvP. Because that is exactly what happened to Samurai, and it ruined the class. It's still a good class, but anyways, this class here right now is a lot of fun, but this whole 50% damage thing can be easily adjusted because of PvP, and it's going to kill this class, because without that, I wouldn't play with this class, but because of that, I would. That's the only reason why I'd play with this class, is because of the ultimate. Now, with that rant aside, I did want to show you guys some of the capabilities of this class in its current form, because it actually is a lot of fun. Now, I'm going to use this as the first example here. Now, this is an XP elemental boss that is found in the social district. However, this is only on the PTR, not in the live game. And so this has 62,000 health. This is a boss, however, so we are not going to be having this thing. We're not going to be able to chop its health in half. That only applies to non-bosses, but this is a boss, so it's not going to apply to that. However, it would be interesting to see the damage output that we can get on this, and I'm going to try to increase the damage output on this by using the crit from the Samurai. This slightly increase, it basically bumps up my critical. Now my ultimate is ready. So we're going to check out the ultimate here. I'm going to apply this first and then my thing, and we'll see what kind of damage we do. All right. So that was the damage right there. As you saw, not very big at all. And the reason why is because it only does 10%. So it can still take a while to take down the bosses. And I timed this boss between this class and the samurai, and I was able to take this boss down way faster with the samurai. So when you have lower level or lower health bosses like this, it's really not doing very much. And you will still find classes like the samurai will outperform it. I'll give you an example by using the samurai next. I'll use it with the exact same cross skill just to show the difference between the two. So now the samurai, which is dealing out healthy numbers when it comes to the regular attack, and this is not even without the ultimate going. So now we're going to get the ultimate going here before we apply our crit, and then we're going to use the crit, and then this, and did you see the massive chunk that was taken off of the boss? Like a staggering massive number. And this is why I'm saying this was way faster taking out the boss with the samurai. So when it comes to lower level bosses, this class can outperform. However, we have a boss with a lot of HP. In the Babylon Trade District, we have a boss with 1.6 million HP. And with a boss like this, Oracle can really, really shine. So this is it right here, 1.67. That's what it has. Let me just put on the Oracle right here. Another thing I wanted to mention about the Oracle was we actually don't know where this is going to be placed. Right now it is in the starter position. However, that might change when this is actually finalized. It's possible this is a tier 2 or a tier 1. Honestly, I feel the samurai should have been a tier 2 when it originally came out. Now it's a tier 1. But I feel it could have been a tier 2 had they not nerfed it. And this could potentially also be a tier 2. They could even allow this to have requirements similar to the Berserker. You need to get the warrior to rank 10 before you can unlock the Berserker. And this is something they could do with the Oracle, where they require you to get the mage, let's say, to level 20 or something. Kind of giving you an incentive to level another class to get a class, or to at least, unlock a requirement to get it. Anyways, that's just a idea that I had. But yeah, we don't know if it is going to be a starter class just because it's currently in the starter position. It might actually be a tier 1 or tier 2. We don't know. So anyways, going with this thing right here, like I said, this has 1.67, so 1.6 mil. And even though the all right, I just jumped over to another map so I could get the ultimate unlocked so I could use it right away. So I'm going to use the critical, and then I'm going to use this right off the get-go. So there's the other one, and then the ultimate. Let's see what the damage is here. Wow. So as you can see, it just stripped off 11% right there, dealing a massive ton of damage. So yeah, that can hit super, super hard. And this can come in extremely beneficial. So me and my friend decided to get together and take this thing down. We both used Oracle, and it took us just over 4 minutes to take this thing down. With the performance that it was giving on the XP Elemental, I decided to test the Samurai, because I thought, well, Samurai can take down the Elemental faster than the Oracle, so maybe it can take this thing down even faster than 4 minutes. So we tested it with the Samurai, and both of us using Samurai, even at the 2-minute mark, we were only at 70%. After 2 minutes, we'd only hit 70%, meaning that in 4 minutes, we definitely would not have gotten him down all the way. We would have gotten him roughly, I would say, estimated down to about 40%. So the Oracle, when it comes to when it has more health, so a monster with more health, multiple Oracles will definitely assist with that. Now, don't just think because this thing can hit 50% that you can deal a ton of damage every single time, because some of the opponents you'd be going up against, like this thing, for instance, only has 8 HP. So when you use an ultimate against something like this, you're literally only going to do half of the health. I want to show this up against one of the world bosses, so I decided to just head over to the Wastelands and show you guys here in the Wastelands up against the Hex Void. I did not attack this guy, but for some reason he's at 93% already. So he has 500, so in total he has 579,000, but his current is just over the 530 mark. So he's at 93%. So I've got my ultimate already ready to go. So what I'm going to do is apply the crit and then use the ultimate and see what kind of damage we can do. Okay, not too shabby. We got him down to 83% on that. So not too shabby. Now, of course, keep in mind when you use an AoE ability, you're going to be attracting all of the opponents on them. So that'd make it a little bit difficult when you're trying to use a class like this in an area like what I was like here. This would be a very difficult thing, but that does affect everybody that's in that field. So that's kind of nice because you'd be able to really have some impact when it comes to AoE abilities, which is pretty impressive. But that is the performance of the Oracle class. So tagging it as a boss killer is not exactly what this thing was designed for. Assisting in a boss kill, it will definitely help contribute. Is there anything else you guys would like to see this class tested up against? Let me know in the comments. That is it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching and keep those swords swinging.